Welcome once again to The Sage. As usual, it's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure to be on this journey with you. I hope you've been watching The Sage and have been enjoying the numerous shows we've done within the past few weeks that are part of a wider theme on a compassionate Nigeria, living out our hope and together ensuring that we have a nation that is truly compassionate, a nation in which we care for each other, in which we contribute by whatever we do towards the success and well-being of our family, our community, and indeed our country. Because we do have a joint destiny. There can be no great Nigeria unless there are great Nigerian people. Unless the majority of our people care, do what is right, work for the good of our nation. And so we started the series on living out that hope as we strive towards a compassionate Nigeria. And as a subset of the series, we began our interviews on SMEs, small and medium-scale enterprises. The fact that in terms of our economy, in terms of our economic empowerment, these SMEs are crucial. These SMEs provide jobs. These SMEs indeed form the economy of our country. It is the SMEs that in the end predict and determine our economy. It is a topic dear to our hearts as Conversations for Change, as C4C. We believe so passionately in SMEs, and we put our mouth we put our money where our mouth is. A small non-profit, we decided to contribute to this effort. And so 7 years ago, we had the bold enterprise which we set up, in which we take in a critically selected core group of young people, and we put them through a 1-year fellowship program in which they learn how to manage their business, they learn networking, they learn how to be socially engineered, social empowerment people themselves, and so much more. It's been an amazing 7 years. We are proud that we have so much to show for it. But don't just take our word for it. We have brought before you for the past few weeks, some of these are entrepreneurs, amazing young people that have shown over and over again that when you put your trust in Nigerian young people and work with them to become what they want to be, particularly entrepreneurs, that they meet all your expectations. It is a real pleasure to once again bring before you one of our amazing C4C entrepreneurs. Please allow me to introduce Adaeze Nwuba to you, a C4C entrepreneur, one of our amazing ones. All of them are amazing, though, but we're bringing another amazing entrepreneur who has kindly consented to come sit here and share candidly her experiences, her knowledge to what extent she can, her skills. There are no trade secrets. We're a community, a compassionate, working towards a compassionate Nigeria. Adaeze, welcome.
Thank you, Mommy. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Adaeze gives me a great deal of pleasure in many regards. She doesn't know. Adaeze is a graduate of Nnamdi Azikiwe University.
That's right.
I have been specially privileged in my life. I did practically began my career there. I lectured for many years, almost 10 years at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and was indeed the head of community medicine for many years before I left to join the United Nations. So yes, it is a great Nnamdi. It is for me. I will almost call my alma mater. So welcome. I am proud of the fact when we began, it was just a small startup university. In fact, the medical school, for instance, was accredited while I was there as head of community medicine. Yeah, so yes, so it's been a pleasure to watch it grow and to produce students who proudly say the great Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Adaeze, welcome.
Thank you.
Adaeze graduated as a microbiologist, but she has a diploma in human resources management, and she has also had a career in oil and gas, right? So we will ask her to share some of that. Even as in this first episode of your show, tell us, how did you get to be here? How did a microbiologist and with all the other qualifications end up deciding that entrepreneurship is where I belong?
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
So yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here once again. How did I get here? Well, it's been quite a journey, and growing up, while I was in the university, I lost my dad, and I saw how my mom struggled. She was a career woman, and because she had kids to take care of when young, at some point she had to leave the 9 to 5 and started doing business. And by the time we lost our dad, the business wasn't that big. So I saw the struggle she went through taking care of 4 children. By then I was in the university. My immediate younger brother was about getting into the university. And I told myself that one day I would want to do something for widows, single parents, that will give them confidence, something that will make them not have to go begging, maybe relatives, be at their mercy just to take care of their children. And that was how the idea of being an entrepreneur came to be. And when I was younger, if you ask me what I want to be, I'll tell you I want to be a teacher. In as much as I love teaching, and I know one day I'll still go that route. And even in that route, it will still be towards helping widows, single parents, women most especially. I just have that passion. So that's how this journey of entrepreneurship started.
Okay. So you watched your mom, and she ran her business, and she must have worked very hard to support her 4 children. And so that has implanted in you that urge to also help people like her and provide them support. But what made you feel you would run a business and succeed?
Okay, I'm married to a man who is very enterprising. He doesn't he doesn't take no for an answer. He doesn't see impossibility in anything. So most times he tells me I'm not a business person, and that spurs me to prove to him that
he's wrong.
Yes, I'm a business person. So that has also contributed to getting me to, believe that I can run a business and be successful at it. Because Daisy Food actually started, through his encouragements during the COVID era. That was how Daisy Food, the idea of, going into production of processing healthy food crops into flour products. That was how it started, and he encouraged me and has been encouraging me all the way. So with his support, with what the experience I've had, watching my mom, and with that determination that there are people I've been placed on this earth to help. I'm not here for nothing. I'm here to help somebody. My experience, I tell my friends that your experience is a lesson for someone else. You are experiencing what you're experiencing because God has placed you in the way of another person that will need the knowledge you got from that experience to be able to pull through life. So with all this in mind, I know I'll succeed at business and I'm getting there.
That is profound. Let me add a dimension to it, because it is something that struck a chord with me, something I have also always believed, that our experiences in life are training schools for God's further work. So it placed you there so that from that experience you can reap lessons to help somebody. But let me also say that you also learn lessons to better your own life. You know, they say it's only a fool who makes the same mistake twice. So many times, the experience is there to build your skills further, for you to utilize lessons learned, for you to grow further, and also for you to help others. So I think that is the 3 dimension. Help others for the sake of the great creator of everybody. I believe that didn't come here by any accident, and that each person has a purpose in this life, a purpose, and therefore that is why sometimes I am a disturbance to traditions and norms when I say that being a wife and a mother is God's given gifts. But that is not the only reason He put you here. That is not the only reason. That someday He expects something. You have come back in this world to do something towards His own greater destiny. And so that is it. And I see that beautifully encapsulated in what you just said about helping others, helping mothers and widows and so on. It is recognizing that greater, what will I call it, reason God has for your existence here. So, but why Daisy Foods? Why foods? Why didn't you go start dressmaking or something? What made you feel that this was where it lay for you, this particular type of enterprise?
Thank you very much. I actually did some training in dressmaking.
Trying to find
yes,
your passion.
I even did trainings in interior decoration. But by the time I settled for foods, I realized that all those time I was trying to find where I fit best, where I can function better. My husband sometimes still teases me, all this money you spent in interior, in dressmaking, I've not seen it. But I learned some things there that still help me, may not be helping me in the Daisy Foods, but helps me as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister. They are all skills. No knowledge is lost.
No knowledge.
So foods, like I said earlier, during the COVID era, when I was younger, I had my aunts. They were living with us. We had like 2. And then we also had helps, like 2 of them. They used to attend this commercial school. They all go in the morning, one go in the evening. So there was always help, somebody to help. And my mom loved making akara, moi moi, pap. If you're not having it as dinner, you're having it as breakfast. So every Saturday, we already know what the menu was. But my mom had my aunts, we had to help. So I wasn't really involved. My involvement was watching them tasting the akara or moi moi and eating the food.
And complaining that it was taking too long.
And eating the food at the end of the day. So when I got married, I luckily for me, I would say it's luckily, I got married to a man who loves traditional food. He loves traditional meals. So I had to make akara one day. and I started peeling beans. In my mind, I was like, oh my God, so is this what my aunts were going through?
And then you knew how hard it was.
Yes, I realized it was hard. I said, wow, okay. So during that COVID era, I did it like twice before COVID, you know, and then during the COVID era, I went to my husband and I said, is it not possible to turn these beans into flour? Like make it into flour products, and it will be easy for people to use. Which one is peeling beans every time you have to make akara or moi moi? And he said, hey, you have beans at home, why not give it a try? I know during COVID the movement was restricted.
Yeah.
So the going out to blend became an issue. I now have to do it at home with my small blender, and that was even what was making it more stressful. So he said, try it. I said, very good. I brought out my beans from the freezer, peeled. With his help, he helped me. So we peeled it, and there was sun that period, so we spread it. After that, I turned it into flour, and we used it in making akara. He ate it, and I was like, okay, came out nice. And before then, we bought beans flour before from the supermarket. And I noticed a lot of things. You know, some had black dots, they still had grits, they were not well grinded into, you know, fine flour. But so that was a lesson for me when I started mine.
You found you could make one that was better than what you were seeing in the shops.
After the first time we used my experiment to make akara, we also used it to make moi moi. He, you know, commended me and told me where I could improve, and that was how Adaeze Food started. I started with beans flour. So I told myself, I want to do things that are just flour. I want to do just flour. Any, you know, food that makes a woman spend hours in the kitchen, I want to see how I can turn it to flour. And unfortunately for me, then after cooking, I come out of the kitchen, I cannot eat. Because I've spent hours in the kitchen, I've perceived it. So I'm full from the smell of the food, the aroma of the food. So it takes me, even if I'm very hungry, I can spend like another 1 hour before I taste that food. So most times you find me eating with my husband, and when he's not around, it becomes a problem for me to eat. So all these were what contributed to me saying, okay, how can I make these things, you know, into flour products? So instead of spending hours in the kitchen, you just spend minutes, and you come out, you still enjoy it and still get that authentic taste. There will be no alter in the taste. And that's how Adaeze Food started.
Those are gems. Those are gems in terms of lesson. In authentic products, you spend a great deal less time in the kitchen, yes, because it's been processed, yes, into a form that is easily usable, yes, but you're also sure of the quality, so that what you give to your clients and buyers is high quality and produces a good taste, yes, in terms of food. That is great. That is great. I mean, I have a lot more questions. But because there's still so much to share, I won't delve into them, because I'm itching to ask, is it just beans? Are there other things? What are your ideas for the future? Blah, 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 blah. So much more to ask. But I won't. Because we don't want to let you escape. Now we have you captive beautifully, gracefully in our studio. You have promised to share a great deal with us. So we'll leave it for the next episode.
Okay.
And thank you once again for being here, at least for this one. While I again recap some of the amazing things you have said. We're very well educated, you know, with your microbiology, and coming from one of the best institutions in the world. I have now moved you to the world. Having all postgraduate qualifications and all. But finally, particularly during COVID, that COVID was an incentive to many things in many people. So many times, so many of my guests and people you talk to say COVID was a landmark, a turning point in their lives. It's interesting. Here we have another COVID turning point. And then forced you to stay indoors and some of this skills. In fact, I think the greatest effect was enterprise. Many people started new enterprises during COVID. Some changed their, enterprise and so on and so forth. So it's amazing. And then how you decided particularly on producing things that made it easier for the family to make their food, process it, make it, and indeed is still of high quality to use. So another great example of an enterprise, very useful enterprise. And I'm always, at this time, particularly proud of agro-based enterprises. Because you see the hunger in our country. I keep saying that never have we been so hungry. The prices are just too much. It has come down to a certain extent for some products of the recent months, but it is still way too expensive. And so to find somebody who is adding value and making it more possible for families to eat better and to be able to shorten preparation time and so on is a vital one. So we thank you for that contribution to our compassionate Nigeria.
Thank you.
But we will have you back next week as we remind our viewers once again that Adaeze is into food processing, agro-food, and I know from experience that they're very high quality. But do make sure you come back to watch her next episode, in which she's going to talk more about her products and in which she is going to share secrets and in which she will also discuss how C4C played a role in her becoming what she is. And so we thank you. For many of our viewers, please consider becoming entrepreneurs. It is a way to empower yourself and your family. It is a way to put more food on your table. Use it not just as a money-making service, but as a service to our country, to our people, because you do something that is useful to families, to yourself, and you do something that earns you money so that you and your family can live well. You do all of this contribute to a greater nation, to a greater people. So we thank you very much as we look forward to your joining us next week as Adaeze finishes more, divulging her secrets for our benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome once again. See you next time.